Hey everybody, it's Greenwood again with another tutorial video. And the last video we talked about angle pairs and some algebra. We're going to wrap that up today and then show you how to check your work. So you'll see our 5 steps here so you can read through those to kind of see where we're going. So we set up this equation last time. We said it was same side interior, just like this last example we did, and we set up that structure. So we said the purple plus the green has to equal 180. So purple plus blue, I just used blue. I said boo. Blue is equal to 180. So now when we look at these, I'm going to look to solve this. And this looks a little more difficult. It's more of a multi-step, but as long as we know what to do, we'll be totally fine. So here is kind of what we're going to do. I'm going to use the highlighter, and I'll use this pink color to start with. I'm going to slide those steps up there. Feel free to pause and write those down if you need to, or take a quick screenshot. So what I'm looking at is I'm looking for like terms. So they have to have the same variable with the same exponent to the same, or sorry, the same variable with the same power. Okay, so x to the first power, for example, or just a constant number. I think I didn't say that very well. So I'm going to underline those terms with their sign in front of them. So plus 21x is a term. This would be like a plus 10x. And then I'm going to use a different color here. Let's use like this olive green. Those two terms are going to go together. And then remember that structure we talked about where if you like having that division, it's like a scale, right? We have to keep them balanced. Whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other. Yeah? So let's combine things on the same side. And that doesn't have to be moved from side to side. So we've got a 10x and a 21x in purple here. And so we have 10x plus 21x. That's going to give me 31 total x's. And I have a -5 here and a -1 here, which -5 minus 1 gives me -6. And that will equal my 180. And so now, once we've combined our like terms, this looks just like our two-step equations that we've had before. So it looks very much like this one, and like ones we've done in class. So we'll add the 6 to both sides of the equation. That's going to give us 186. And that will zero out, so we're left with 3x equals 186. Ooh, I made a mistake. Did you notice it? It's supposed to be 31x, and I said the wrong thing. So if you caught that, kudos. All right, 31x equals 186. Now we have to undo our multiplication by dividing. So we'll divide both sides by 31. Remember, whatever we do to the left side, we have to do to the right side. Got to stay balanced. And when we do that, we end up with 186 divided by 31. Yeah, I think that's also 6. You can check me in your calculator, but I'm pretty sure we're good there. So we get 6 again. Coincidence, both problems had an answer of 6. I didn't plan it that way, I promise. Okay, so that is the algebra piece. Finally, to check your work, we can plug this value back in. Okay, so we take the 6 and substitute it back in for the x and check. So 6 goes back in here, so 14 times 6 is 84. 84 plus 10 is 94. So that means this worked out. These were equal. That's great. This one we got 6. So we'll plug that in here. We'll do the mental math. Check in your calculator as we go along if you need to. So 6 in here. So we have 10 times 6 is 60. 60 minus 5 is 55. So our mental math tells us, and your calculator check tells us, that's 55 degrees. This one, we get 21 times 6, which should be 126. Minus 1 is 125. Oh, having trouble writing all of a sudden. So that angle's 125 degrees. So you can check that calculator work as well. Now, here's the real check. If it's supplementary, they have to add to 180. So if you check 125 plus 55, we should get 180, and I believe we do. So there you go. There's how you check the work. There are those steps again. If you need to see them, identify the angle pair. Are the lines parallel? If they are, continue. See those arrows, little red arrows in some of these problems will kind of be that giveaway. We identify if it's a congruent or a supplementary category. Again, if you got those from the last video. If not, here are your congruent pairs. Here are your supplementary pairs. The blue ones always fit in that category. The ones that aren't highlighted in blue, it depends if the lines are parallel. And then to wrap things up, we set up our equation. They're going to look like this one. If it's a congruent pair, they'll always be equal to each other. If it's supplementary, they'll always look like this one. And then we solve for x, and then we can substitute x back in to check the work. I just did that verbally and had you follow along. But you can write that work down. So for example, like this angle, we could say 10 times, let's make it look like a 10 though, so you don't get confused by that. 10 times 6 minus 5. 10 times 6 is 60 minus 5, which is 55. So there's the written work to kind of support our calculation here of 55 degrees. Okay, so that's what we did mentally. And that should wrap it up. I hope you all made sense of this one, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.